Hi everyone, this is my evidence tree of contemporary world. I'm Lourdes Pulveda and I'm going to talk about the events that happened during the 1990s and 2015. Well, I put just three of them. First, we have in 1990, South African anti-apartheid activist Nelson Mandela is freed after spending 27 years as a political prisoner. Then in the 1991, the Soviet Union is dissolved after the 15 separate republics, including Russia, are now independent. And in 2013 is the most recent. Three people are killed and 183 are injured after two explosions near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Well, I have some important stuff that happened, and one of them is the crisis of the sovereign system and the situation in East Europe. Between 1964 and 1982, the Soviet Union was governed by Leonid Brezhnev, an authoritarian leader that took his country to the cusp of power and economic influence. Excessive spending on arms and inventions, corruption and increasing invention and bureaucratic Soviet system were just some of factors that arose in the time of economic standstill. The origin of this revolutionary event can be found in Poland around 1988. Then the fall of the Berlin Wall and German reunification. The Eastern German government internally responded with a series of measures to detain its migration. On the 9th of November of 1989, amidst a series of peaceful protests, the Eastern German government official announced that the citizens of Berlin could travel between the east and the west without any major problems. So they began to cross to demand this permission to cross the wall. The dissolution of the USSR and the rise of the CIS was also important because in the 1990s, the three Baltic republics, Estonia, Lithuania, and Lithuania, unilaterally declared their independence from the Soviet Union. They separated. So Boris Yeltsin was the last president of the United Soviet Socialist Republic of Russia. Then from bipolarism to unipolar world, the disintegration of the communist bloc put an end to bipolarism and left a great void in power that began to filled by the United States of America, a country that became the only remaining superpower and did so practically without any opposition forces that were powerful enough to counter its influence and reach. Then bipolarism to unipolar world. The new reality is commonly known as unipolarism, that is a concentration of power in one single polar. The United States of America in the most critic sense. This does not mean that their new superpower has absolute power over the entire world, but is considered as a major player in international affairs. Then we have the Persian Gulf War. The war began in 1990 before the fall of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was already in a clear process of disintegration, and hence it had lost some major parts of its influence and geopolitical supremacy. The conflict originated when Saddam Hussein, president and dictator of Iraq, decided to invade its neighbors Kuwait in that unilateral fashion. The Cold War. The Cold War is the principal characteristic of the period was a rivalry between two world superpowers that dominated the world by the end of the World War II. The United States and the United Soviet Socialist Republic, the USSR. It is called Cold War because it never escalated to an open and direct military conflict between these two nations. It was in the 1989. Then we have the digital era. One of the most important aspects of the 20th century is the digital revolution as a result of the advances in computing and the process of the internet. These technological developments have permitted the acceleration of communication, creating a truly global village. Then I have this concept that is globalization. It's a process of international integration arising from interchange of worldviews, products, ideas, and other aspects of culture. Then terrorism. This means the use of violence and intimidation in pursuit of political aims. The unipolar world is usually known as unipolarity. That in international politics is a distribution of power in which one state exercises more of a cultural, economic, and military influence. Then the digital era refers to the period of the where digital technology was developed. This is a phenomenon that has marked our era. Since the invention of television and the telephone, the world was traveled through a process of unprecedented technological advances. Then we have these questions that were why did the globalization emerge? Well, because it promoted the exchange of ideas, knowledge, and trade between countries. The businesses were bigger, so they need this kind of trades between them. It was like a good idea. Then globalization was accelerated in the 19th century with the Industrial Revolution, as mechanical mills and factories become more common. As I just said, many companies also draw material from distant lands. They also sold their goods in other countries. So what caused the terrorist attacks of the 20th century? Well, we know a lot of these terrorist attacks between these last few years, and what they mainly cause are the loss of innocent deaths and a lot of pain, fear on the people that they don't know if they can be like attacked again, and they cause a problem with the government interaction. Like they have like problems. So how does the end of the Cold War with the unipolar world? Well, what I found was the fall of the Soviet Union. Like new ideals were promoted, fall of the socialism that was like good for them, new politics, and also new technology. And the last thing that I have here is how was the digital era influenced today's society? Well, technology is a really good tool, and we all know what technology is and what influences us into the world. So what I think that is made easier our daily life, like our conversations with the others, but they also affect our relationships. And what I think on companies and businesses, they use more technology, like more, I don't know, like robot and stuff like that. And they don't need more employees, so they cause employment. So that's like a problem because they need a job. So it is a good invention, it's a good thing. Like we can live without it, but maybe we should know how to control ourselves and I don't know, have like um to know how to use it like properly. So yeah, that's everything that I have to say. So in my conclusion, we should know like everything what happened on the past, and maybe this happened years ago, but they still affect us and happen for a reason. So it is good to know. So thank you.